Hi everyone and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, this is Connor.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk about Better Call Saul, Season 2, Episode 6. It's called Bali High, and full spoilers, as always, for the review. So, last week we got Hector Salamanca. This week we got the cousins.
Yeah, it was exciting. I
Um,
loved their introduction shot.
and it
That
came out
was
of fucking nowhere as well.
yeah.
Like, you knew there was going to be repercussions for what he did, and we'll get to that in a second. But the you're right. The way it was an over the shoulder shot, and they were way off in the distance on the roof.
Yeah.
But I immediately knew who they were
Yeah.
because it was two of them.
Exactly. It was just it was so perfectly done.
Fantastic. I was loving the
that.
episode anyway, but that was
Yeah. The other shot that I really loved to do with them was the shot of the shoe. That close up on it.
yeah, later on. Yeah. There's not as much to analyse here. I mean, it makes sense. They would shot because he's connected to, you know, I mean, he's related to, Salamanca, but it's just really, really, really nice, nice little surprise.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Saul continues to be excellent, quite frankly. Really, really liked this episode. Once again, Saul himself wasn't necessarily the main, plot.
Not at all.
It was very much Mike and Kim again, having their own plots each. And I thought both of them were pretty great. Mike's we'll tackle first. I thought his was very... For me, it all boils down... There's a couple of good moments, but for me, what it really boils down to, the scene I loved, was him going into his house when he knew someone was inside. That one shot of him just following him around the house was incredibly tense, and the sound design was on point because they made it feel like they made it sound like actually walking about a house at night without any other bullshit.
Yeah.
Just the odd creak, the footsteps, and the eerie sort of silence of it all.
Yeah, it was just fantastic. It was probably the best scene in the episode.
I would agree, and I think what works, or what's more impressive to me about that, is that we know Mike can't die. We know he's safe.
Yeah, it's still, you feel that tension.
Yeah, so that is excellent stuff. I can't really praise that enough. The other winner that I really liked, there's two winners in this episode.
There is, yeah.
It was Kim and Hamlin walking through. This is near the start of the episode, because she's obviously out of the doghouse because Chuck's stepped in and got her out of trouble. But Hamlin's still clearly holding a grudge. He's not happy with her. And it's just a wonderful shot of them walking to the meeting, going through the building, and the shot stays on the whole time. And it's not as impressive per se as the Mike shot later, but it's still really...
It's so engaging. It's because it's him giving her the complete cold shoulder, but then smiling at everyone else like when they say hello and reacting to other people.
Yeah, it's particularly at the end, just like literally as they turn the corner before they go in, his smile comes on.
Yeah.
And then he goes in. And then again, the shot ends with her, shutting the door, but she takes a moment to, breathe and, before she puts a smile on for the clients, and it's, again, really well done. But I think it's a very purposeful shot because it has to be that long, it has to be that uninterrupted to show how unbearable this cold shoulder is. You really get a feeling of how awkward it is.
It also feels uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, and Hamlin when he was walking that entire time, he was walking like the goddamn T1000. He had this really slick,
yeah,
I don't
a
care
bit
about you
of a bit of a swagger.
Yeah, but not too over the top. Just enough.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a subtle swagger.
So nah, that was good. And Kim's story in general was actually really interesting because even before we get to the sort of second half of it, she does that. She's at a hearing with the other lawyers to, argue documentation or whatever for the sandpaper case, and I really liked the scene after that in the restaurant, because even though these are the lawyers representing these assholes, he himself was very likable.
Yeah,
and there was nothing in that scene that made me feel like he's the enemy. Try to Cooper. He's like, no, he's being quite genuine. And what the episode does that's really smart is the entire time it gives you every reason, actually, I'll rephrase that. It gives Kim every reason in the world to want to take that job.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
It does. So outside of like the loyalty I suppose aspect, there's no reason for her not to be jumping at joy at this. No reason, and yet she's kind of conflicted, and that gets to the second half where she breaks bad. Well, she doesn't break bad, but she
makes the choice without Jimmy there.
she makes the choice without Jimmy there to do something. She remembers that day they had at the bar where they did that little con and she felt good about it, and she called also. But they don't actually get to this because the episode ends before he gets back to work the next day. But surely Jimmy's going to be in trouble for ditching those two
I would assume so.
in the middle of the workday, because he literally just leaves right away when he gets the phone call.
It's kind of what Kim did as well, though. To be fair, they were like, "Come in, do this letter,
True.
or do this research, whatever it was."
Yeah, but she's got another job lined up. She's pretty.
She didn't at that point, though.
She did.
Oh yeah, she did. You're right.
Yeah, this was after that. She's
You're right.
She's good.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
Yeah. Joe, I liked about it as well is I liked the setup for it. It made it really justifiable, both to her and to us as the audience, because this guy, whether that was his wife that she saw him kissing goodbye or another mistress, either way, the guy's a bit of a sleazebag.
Yeah.
So you're on her side, and you can kind of get why she's like, okay, it's con this bastard because he's a dickwad. So that was good. And it was just them waking up the next morning, and she sort of spoke about her conflictions and how, like, Saul knew what he wanted. That's what she says.
And she feels like she ruined that for him.
Yeah, because she realizes it was her making him take the job.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he says, "Yeah, no, I did it for me," but he's kind of just doing that out of,
to make her feel better.
make her feel better, and because it is technically the right choice to make. But
Yeah, but perhaps not for him.
yeah, but she's realised that she's made that mistake, and it's actually quite an interesting bit of character development because it would be very easy. It would be very easy as a writer to just write her to be this nagging person who is like, no, this is the wrong thing. You're supposed to do this. You know what? It would be very easy to write her as Skylar White.
You're right. Yeah.
But they didn't. They made her realise what her error was, and that I think is good. I think that's a very wise little thing. Her character's growing. I think it's because we spoke last week how last week's episode made her a main character and not just part of Saul's storyline. And this week took that forward again. I feel like going forward now she can have her own subplot along with Mike and Saul, obviously. That
kind of does lead to one of my concerns about this season, though.
What's that?
It feels like a bunch of separate stories. Like, Saul and Kim are a bit more tied together, but Mike's kind of just off doing his own thing. We've barely seen him interact with Saul at all.
I don't have a problem with that.
I just feel like...
Because ultimately we know they're going to come back together before the show ends.
We do. It's just... It's starting to go a little bit long without... Like, when was the last time we saw them speak?
When Saul ran into him when he was going to the car park.
Right.
And I seen him in the booth.
Yeah.
And he was all banged up, which was I think was last week.
Was that last week?
Well, he was already bruised, so it had to be last week, I think.
You're right. But other than that, it feels
so
like it's
just
been...
proven wrong.
Okay, but other than that, it feels like it's been a long time.
I felt like that in season 1 as well, to be honest, for the most part.
Yeah, I wish we'd start building towards them being together a bit more than it is.
I have no problem if it doesn't feel natural. I have no problem with them not doing it. I guess the only complaint that I would give that is that the show's called Better Call Saul, so following Mike's story feels a bit like he should be in the title. Something like it should be Mike and Saul because he's got his own separate plot going on that's mostly separate.
I think that is part of what my problem is, that it's supposed to be Saul's show.
Yeah, but I got over that last season because I felt like that half of last season as well. So for me, I don't care. His stuff's so good that I don't care.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff.
So, no, I mean, really, it's called Better Call Saul, but what it really is Breaking Bad Zero.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a negative thing to say, and I don't mean it that way. I just mean, it's about Saul, it's about Mike, and we're even getting a lot of the Salamanca stuff now.
Yeah.
So, and we'll eventually get Gus. I have no doubt. So, yeah. I have no complaints on that front at all.
No, that's fair enough. I did really like the bookended shots of Saul of this episode, because we opened with him unable to sleep, and
Yeah.
and that was really
actually,
good.
I really like that little. So it was almost like a short film before the title.
Yeah, it reminds me of the future scenes or the present day scenes where there's barely any dialogue or none, and you kind of get the entire thing in that 2 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah, it kind of is actually, yeah.
Because until the very end, when he wakes up the next day, there is no dialogue, as far as I remember.
No, there isn't. It's basically, you're right, it's shown that he's not happy where he is and he's bored by it. It's the same thing.
He was more
trapped.
content being a sleazebag. Yeah,
because he can't even sleep in his regular bed. He has to go back to that dingy little thing in the back office.
And then the one at the end was bringing back up that metaphor, that was very heavy-handed metaphor from before with the cup, and then taking it one step further.
But he made it fit.
But interestingly, he made it fit. But to make it fit, he had to break it apart completely.
True.
He had to completely destroy the thing to make it fit.
This is true. Like, I feel like this deepens the metaphor, but you could take it
in the complete opposite ways. Yeah,
you could take it a couple of different ways. You could say, well, some things don't fit at first. You have to work at it and make it fit. You could take it that way. I don't think it is that way, but you could take it that way.
Yeah.
So I think for me, what I'm taking from it is that he had to force it.
Yeah, it's not just that he forced it; he had to completely destroy it to make it work. And even then, it
so
wasn't
are you saying
really working.
Wait, are you saying that he's completely destroyed Kim, or he's destroying Kim?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, but you say well, maybe he will eventually, maybe will in the long run. But you say that, but at the same time, he would talk her into taking the good job, like
for now.
Which without him, like that's what she would have wanted.
Yeah, it's just the case that even though the cup's there and sure it's in the right place.
No, stay away from the cup. Stay away from the fucking cup. We're not talking about the metaphor.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the root of this here.
No, I agree. Over time, he might do stuff, but his actions in this episode, yeah, he dropped everything to go and do the thing with her, right?
Yeah.
But everything he said in that final scene is what he should have said as a good person.
It is. And then we saw his reaction. He's clearly not happy with himself.
What, because of the cup?
Well, yeah, like he's had that car for a while now, and he's kind of got over the cup thing.
No. We know he's not happy with his situation. That was the opening scene. We've established all that. We're not talking about that.
Even with the ending, that's right after he tells all that stuff to Kim, and then he's annoyed at the cup.
No. Yeah, we know he's not unhappy with himself. He lied about that.
Yeah.
But what he said to Kim was the right thing to say to Kim.
It was. Yeah.
He did the right thing.
He did for now.
I agree he will probably fuck it up. But he did the right thing. He's making it work right now. He probably can't make it work for him, but what he said to her was the right thing.
I still don't think that'll last the rest of the season.
I'm not debating that. I'm not debating any of that.
I'm just saying it was right then, but I think that's what the whole point of the metaphor was for. Like, this is what's coming next.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Not sure why we're arguing then.
I don't know why, because you're an argument of a little dick at times, you really are. Right, that's Better Call Saul, episode, what are we on, 6?